What's up, everybody? It's Monday after the Tucson race. You can hear this right here. We're in a tight spot. We made it to San Simon, Arizona, and we got problems with the Pete. We don't know what it is. We're hoping for head gasket. It's kind of best case scenario. We're here at a truck repair place right now, and I don't know, they're fixing to tear into it. So we kind of got our fingers crossed that they can get us taken care of and get us back on the road so we can make Bandimere, but we don't know right now. So we pulled over because I seen some tire smoke, and we had a blown out tire on the truck. Well, then we had other problems too.
Yeah, the blowout was not the problem.
It turned out to be the least of the worries.
Yeah, so truck still had plenty of power. It was. It never got hot. The oil pressure was great, but now you can literally feel where the compression from that piston is just blowing it all out the side. So there's a few things here, and none of them are good.
No.
It could be, and we get all this from our buddy Trucker Matt,
yep,
who has tore down a lot of these motors.
He tears up cats like I tear up LS's.
Yeah. It could be a cracked head. It could be a cracked liner. It could also be there's a plate that goes in between the head and the surface deck. It could be that's cracked. It sounds to me like that's probably the best case scenario. Or it could just be a blown head gasket, which Matt said, no. Doesn't hardly ever happen. But then he told us it just happened to his buddy the other day. Yeah. So getting parts is probably going to be the problem. I've heard from a couple different people. I mean, we're in BFE. I have heard from a couple different people that this guy does good work. He did want me to drive the truck back to his main shop that is in Tucson, and that's 3 hours from here. I wasn't going to do that. It's already gotten a lot worse than what it was. We couldn't hear that doing that. No. Before we drove it the 25 miles to get back to here. Yeah. So it is what it is. It's weird, but I'm not that upset. And I do believe that it's because I love this truck so much. And at this point, yeah. Hey, if I was already fed up with this truck, I'd go, fuck this piece of shit, we're selling it, we're getting rid of it. Yep. But this fucking thing, I love it so much that, what's it gonna take, a new motor? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Yeah. You know, like, it's something that we've got to have. It does suck. The Freightliner, say what you want about it, and never left us stranded. Like, we made it to every race last year with the Freightliner. Yep. The Pete is cool. Cool don't always get you to the race. Deal with your bullshit. That's right. That's right. Cool don't always get you to the race. So we're gonna do what we got to do. Luckily, we called this old boy. Yeah, he's 2.5 hours late from whenever he said he would be here. Yep. But that doesn't bother me as long as when he gets here, he starts getting it and making it happen. Yep. I'm late a lot too. Oh, yeah. I get it. You know, it is what it is. When you show up, you show out. But when I show up, there's time to work. Yep. You know, and I'm totally fine with him being a little bit late. The only problem that I can foresee right now is that we're doing the whole dumb, well, I don't know if I call it dumb or smart. Yeah. We're 2 hours behind the rest of the country right now. 3 if you're talking about the East Coast. There is no daylight savings here. Nope, not which in Arizona. Is daylight savings is dumb anyways. Yep. Arizona does not do it. So we're 2 hours behind. If we need to order parts by the time we get this thing tore down, it's probably going to be too late in the day to get them overnighted, which is going to suck. Yeah, that adds an extra day of... It is about 11 o'clock right now. Yes. He was supposed to be here at 8. If he'd have been here at 8, by this time right now, he would have had it tore apart. Yep. And we could have ordered whatever parts that we wanted. Yes. You know, so, and I'm glad that we didn't start tearing it apart like we talked about last night. Oh, dude, we'd have been tore apart here. We'd have been tore apart here, and then he doesn't want to turn this thing. He wanted us to drop the trailer over here, which is also sketchy. It's scares me.
Yeah.
In fact, let's walk out here right now. I don't like it leaning like that. We would have started tearing this thing down. There's no doubt about it. We're getting nails in this place.
Oh yeah. We'll leave here. We're gonna have to order tires.
yeah.
You know, if we leave here.
Yeah, if we leave here, just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But there is an old
box Chevy.
box Chevy sitting out there, and a boat tail
Riviera. Yeah.
So it does suck. It is what it is, though. I've been more upset at less than what I am right now.
Oh yeah.
And you know, maybe I'm just getting old. But I understand that these things happen. We literally, this is the first time in the 2 seasons now that we've been doing this that we've had problems. Yeah, blow out here and there, but other than that, that's it. Yeah. And the tire on the back of that thing still didn't blow out. It just went flat.
Yep.
And then they said, it was the valve core.
Yeah.
So of course, then they're not going to warranty it because it was the valve core. It wasn't their tire.
Yeah.
Well, now I guess we drove it for long enough that it had busted up some of the
cords or whatever.
The radials inside the tire. So they said, you want us to put this back on there? And I was like, no. I was like, let's just go ahead and get a new tire. Yeah. Hey, that thing looked like this.
Oh, man.
He aired it up and I go, man, did y'all put extra air in that to see if y'all could find the leak? And he goes, no, that's 100. And I go, yeah, let's get that thing off there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna sit here for a few days in Arizona. Not much,
not the pretty part of Arizona.
Whenever I was a kid, we got stalled out in Kingman. Yep. In Kingman, Arizona. And me, my brother, and my mom in her Toyota Tercel. Nice. Yeah, it was a sweet car. Yeah. Was driving to California, blew a head gasket in it, and we sat there for 3 or 4 days. Luckily, my mom, while she sat and cried in the motel room, we were in the pool the whole time.
Oh, you had a swimming pool? Yep.
So, but we were young then.
Yeah. You and Richie?
Yep, me and Richie.
So I guess that we're just kind of here.
Yeah, we're just gonna hang out.
They got the service truck backed up to it. They got the hood up. They're fixing to start tearing into it. So maybe once they start getting stuff apart, we can sneak in there and kind of see what the inside of a cat looks like.
Oh. There we go. Yep. I got it.
That's a big old bump stick.
Jesus. Got it?
You ever held a shaft that big before?
Oh yeah. Yeah, not since this morning. but yes. Man, that thing is massive.
Yeah, that's pretty wild right there. So that was a camshaft out of the Pete, obviously, and they're about to pull the head and see where we're at.
Yes, and that cam, as soon as they put it over where they put it, we can show them where it's going to need to be. I'd call it polished.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going to do to it, but we have been known to get some
emery cloth.
Some emery cloth and just clean them up a little bit. If that's what it takes. That's what it takes. So it is still Monday, and we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and I hope not Thursday to be, get this deal going. Yeah, get that out of the way. Alright. Okay. Go up. Yep. Now come in a little bit. Slowly get that point there. Where's your brakes on it? Oh, yeah. I got it. Good. Look. Now, can you tilt it? Forward. Yep.
Okay, so for the situation that we're in, we're kind of looking at best case scenario here. So far. I mean, they still got to check the head, make sure it's not cracked. But as you've seen there, it does have a blown head gasket. None of the liners appear to be cracked. They got the head pulled off of it. Obviously, that's how we can see all this stuff, but everything still looks pretty good here. So that's got to ease your mind at least a little bit.
Well, I mean, except for all night whenever I wonder if the head is okay, or what caused it.
That's what I'd like to know. You post a picture up right here of the injector and what it looked like, and we're not sure what caused that. So something else we'll have to inspect. The injector harness.
That O-ring right there is broken.
Yep.
What year is it? 97.
Big wall races, you had one just like this. Same hauler and all of that, man. 2 cars, one car. Yep. You do a lot of traveling. Nice, man. So
Y'all seen the camshaft. Look how giant this thing is. Just massive.
Don't look great. I wonder why they're so much bigger. This one's real bad.
I wonder if this like a Torker V2 or
I don't know. It's got to be at least a
Stage 3
cam.
Stage 3.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can find the injector that's messed up without pulling too much stuff apart. There it is.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, I feel like that one's it.
Look at that.
There's no way that's good. Look at how deep that is melted inside there. Does it smell burnt? Or does it smell like oil?
It smells like diesel, or yeah, oil. So that's where we are. Not totally in the clear yet. They're gonna take the head, pressure check it, make sure it's good, slap a gasket kit on it, and we're gonna roll. Just that easy.
Yeah.
Just that easy.
Yeah, it took it all day to pull it apart.
Yeah.
Wonder how long it'll take to find all the missing bolts and put it back together.
Around here. Look at his organization.
My anxiety is out
oh, dude,
the
I can
roof.
imagine. I can imagine.
He just kept pulling stuff off and then handing it back, pulling it off and handing it back. You know me, man, I'd have to have a surgical table out here and I'd have to lay everything out, and it would have to be, I took this off, I'm gonna set it down.
Yep.
This is the bolt that came off of this, and it'd be right next to it.
Yep.
Nah, not
like
here.
These guys.
And I even do that whenever I know where everything goes.
Yes. Like the rockers that you used to pull off of the OG Bandimere weekly.
I still do it.
Yeah.
Like I will still line them all up. This one came out of this one, this one came out of this one, and and set them down.
Yeah, and then
I'll even number the paper towels that I set them on.
Well, and I do that too, but then I don't set them how you would set them, so then you...
Well, I'm left-handed, so a lot of stuff comes off differently, you know?
Yeah. So, that's where we are on day 1 of our breakdown. Blown head gasket for sure. Liner looks fine. We just... The head is in question. It needs to be checked. So
I have a good feeling that we're going to make the race.
I think so, man. I think so.
I don't know. I got a good feeling about it. I'm going to be nervous the first, well, probably until we get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll probably...
Is this thing smoking more or not?
Yeah. I'll probably have a dumb idea like, let's just drive at night, you know? Yeah. I don't want to drive during the heat during the day, and which is dumb, but, you know, who knows?
Yep. So... we'll turn this thing back on for day 2 and see what we get done. Well, there's the cylinder head. Had to get a new one. Unfortunately, it's in the back of a service bed and not on the truck right now.
Yeah, and it is 1:08 on Thursday.
Arizona time. So 2:08 where we're supposed to be.
2:08 where we're supposed to be setting up right now.
Yep.
So... let's do a little bit of quick math in our head here. It's going to take him 10 hours to put this thing back together.
Minimum.
I'm bouncing that off my head on how long I watched it take it apart.
And you know it's easier to take stuff apart.
Yeah, because the way they was throwing shit out of the way, I'm gonna be happy if we still got all the bolts.
Yeah. Well, they're all gonna be there.
Yeah,
but some of them are still gonna be left in the baskets.
I don't even want to talk about how expensive this bill's gonna be.
I know how much you've already given them.
I paid for these parts, and I know that I heard that new heads cost between this and this. Here's the ballpark. You know how whenever you're looking up the guides and you're on Marketplace and you're looking at trucks, and they got the guide on.
Yeah, they got the little meter.
This is where this one's at. Okay, I heard that they are between here and here on price on these heads, and the price that I heard between was $4,000. This is $4,000. This is $6,000. We're somewhere over in here for this head.
Yeah.
So it would say high. What would it say on that little guide?
Not a good deal.
Yes, not a good deal.
Yeah.
But then there's
above
also,
market value.
Yes, above market value. But then there's also this deal that you got to remember: supply and demand, and where we're at, and what we got going on here, and what we're gonna miss if we don't make it to this race.
Yes.
So decisions have to be made, and it's tough to make some of these decisions, but you got to remember, what am I out if I don't make it to this race this weekend?
Yep.
Versus how much is it going to cost me to get back on the road? I feel like we're at a wash. At this point, I'm just trying to get back on the road. Even this mechanic said it is not a smart idea to do what we're doing. We're putting a new head on it, a new spacer plate, a new head gasket, a new injector, a new cam, a new injector harness. While we're there, he had a water pump already laying around. We're putting a water pump on it. We cleaned out the radiator, which this thing has never been hot, for the record. This thing has never gotten to 200 degrees. Up and down hills, never gotten to 200. EGTs on this thing. This thing's, believe it or not, this thing has not got a big bad tune in it. Yeah. It doesn't. I can set the cruise at 80 in this truck and go up and down hills. Of course, up hills, I slow down.
Yeah.
But even if I drive this thing like I don't know what I'm doing, just foot to the floor going up these hills, the EGT meter in this truck will not go above 900. I have never one time ever seen this thing. It will reduce the power going up a mountain before this thing gets above 900 on the EGTs. So with that being said, those two were not the problem with this. We believe that the injector harness, which we can see there's cuts in it, and it's gotten hot and it has melted. It melted the injector, it melted the wiring harness. We feel like that was the cause of all this problem. We feel like the injector harness melted, it melted the injector. The injector stopped working or stopped working efficiently.
Yes.
And it leaned that cylinder out, popped the fucking head gasket.
Yep.
Lifted the head, could have possibly at one point hydrolocked. Because around the number 3 cylinder, and I'm gonna take a guess here, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. This is the 3 cylinder. Well, there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 head gaskets, bolts right there. All of those were loose. So either the bolts got stretched from some force or something happened. It did not fire slot anything.
Nope.
Which is what Phantom does to things.
That is how I mess up things. Yes.
Yeah, you can see the problem before Phantom pulls the head off.
Yep. Usually see it in the video with a big fireball.
Yes, and then we go, oh yeah, no, we know what happened.
Yep.
Sometimes it's 1/8 mile down the road.
Everyone's asking, coming back yet? Something, nah, we're gonna have to go get him.
He's not coming back. We're still trying to make it. I do believe here pretty soon. I mean, this is the situation that we're in. We're gonna send Phantom and Sabry with the merch trailer to go set up in our spot, and then I'm gonna be there whenever I can. It sucks, but this is a different race for me. I've got a lot of family coming. I've got a lot of friends coming. Like my mom is already at the track. My brother and sister-in-law live in Denver. They're gonna be there. Like I have a lot of family that comes into this race. Not only because it's a cool track, it's close-ish to Oklahoma. It's nice and cool. The weather is amazing. It's just a really cool track to come to. And anybody of my family, my mom can't deal with the heat, so she likes to come to tracks when it's cool. And so this was a big deal for her. And she even's bringing a couple of friends, and it's just a mess. So
she's real disappointed in us for not making it.
Oh yeah, I know. She's pretty disappointed that we can't do better. So I promise, Mom, I'm trying. She calls me whenever we lose races, and what's it going to take for you to win? I wish you could win.
Me too, Mom.
Sorry to disappoint you. We've said it before. We haven't given up.
No.
These last 2 races that we've done better. We're on the right track. The car's amazing. Now we just can't get to the race. So chances are, if we do get to the race, like right now, even if we do get to the race, we're going to be off the trailer. We're not going to know if we can spool the car. We're not going to know anything. Spooling the car up there is hard. It's tough.
That's 90% of the battle there.
Yeah. So hopefully we can spool the car.
If we can spool the car, we can still make enough power to go really fast. It's just, man, if we don't make it into the beams, man,
I know
I'm gonna lose my shit on somebody.
yeah, and not to mention everybody else is gonna have all their test hits from Friday night. And that doesn't scare me.
No, not at all.
To be honest with you, I wish we didn't get passes on Friday night.
Off the trailer, let's do it.
I wish we could off the trailer. Last weekend in Tucson, it was raining, and I was so stoked. I thought,
there was talks
of
calling it Friday.
It's going to rain out tonight, and we're going to go off the trailer tomorrow. That would be amazing. I would love to do that.
Yep.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, man, my tune-ups don't change much.
No.
We have a couple of tune-ups that work really well. We just add a little more boost, but between the tree and the 330, not a whole lot changes.
No.
A little bit changes, but at this
very
point,
minor.
I think the car works. It's starting to work well enough that we could off the trailer and be okay. So I think I'm gonna send Phantom and Savory with the merch trailer and head that way, and hopefully I can show up late Friday night or first thing Saturday morning. But unfortunately, with where we're at, anybody that knows us knows Aaron can't eat a whole lot.
Yep.
And where we are, like geographically in the world right now, there is nothing here. We drove an hour yesterday just so that Aaron could go to a Walmart and find some gluten-free stuff.
Yep.
While we were there, we had a steak in that town, which was an hour away, which mine came out well done.
It was basically beef jerky.
Yeah, it was.
He's sawing on that thing, moving the table around. I couldn't even.
2 more minutes from being
potatoes.
beef jerky.
So we're still trying to make it. The entire weekend isn't out of the question yet. You're just going to be a little late, most likely.
Yeah. I don't care. I love the Pete so much that I'm not even that upset that this happened.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it is what it is. Parts failures happen. We 100% believe that what caused this, like I said, it's never overheated. The EGTs don't get too hot. We believe that the injector, the harness that is burnt up, we think that it just fucking melted.
Yep.
And it messed up that injector, causing it to lose fuel or over fuel, something. And I think it popped the head gasket.
Yep.
It is what it is. So it just, the whole situation is what sucks.
Yeah.
Aaron can't just eat whatever, and the toter is locked up in this shop, so we can't sleep in it.
Yeah.
Nearest place is, like I said, 30-45 minutes away from here, and
So that we made the post telling everyone that Friday's probably out of the question, but we're trying for Saturday, and everyone's suggesting we borrow someone's toter or rent a truck from Penske or whatever. What you guys don't understand is there's more than $500,000 worth of Shawn's possessions here in the middle of nowhere where we don't know anyone. I mean, guys, when I say middle of nowhere, we are in the middle of nowhere.
This town that we're in doesn't even have a convenience store.
Yeah. So Shawn, and I don't blame him one bit for this, is not willing to leave this stuff out of his sight. So when it's done is when you'll hit the road with all of your things.
Yeah. And not to mention, man, I get rent the Penske truck. What Penske truck are you going to get that's going to pull this?
You
can't use a semi. Just to let everybody know.
Yeah.
We cannot use a semi. We don't have our old gooseneck that we used to have.
No.
We have a tag trailer. We have a tag trailer that weighs 40,000 pounds.
Yes.
Just to let everybody know that. Let's throw that out there. The only thing that would possibly pull this is like a box truck, and it wouldn't pull it. It would hook up to it.
Yeah.
But
no air hookups.
There's no air hookups. Like, I would need a semi. I saw one on Marketplace yesterday.
Did you?
And it says, and it's a full-blown semi. Is a Kenworth or a Pete. And it says converted, hear me, converted to pull tag trailer. That says it right there.
Yeah.
So basically what he did was he put a flatbed on the Pete, took off the fifth wheel or the gooseneck, whichever,
Yeah.
and put the same thing that the Pete has on the back of it. It's a big plate, guys, and it's got a hitch that moves up and down, like that has got to be rated to hold
that will
all
handle
that weight.
20,000 pound tongue weight.
And the just a semi would, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And if you called Penske, you could get a truck like that, but not a truck that has that stuff, the air out the back. First off, the air has to be out the back because of the air brakes, and it also has air ride.
Yeah.
So you got to have your supply and your, what is it? Supply and
exhaust? Is it
Nope.
Emergency?
supply and brake, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to have the red and the blue, man.
Yeah, the red and the blue. And then the trailer is the white.
Yeah.
It's the red, the white, and the blue.
Yeah,
If you don't have the
America.
red, the white, and the blue,
Yeah, get the fuck out.
you know, you can't. I mean, you
I'm just
can't,
playing, guys.
You know, like we couldn't even use my dually to move this thing from one side of this parking lot to the other. It literally won't do it without air hookups.
Nope.
A lot of people will understand that, but some probably won't.
We are rectifying this situation, though.
We are. And whenever we do that next week, trust me, guys, I already made it to where this situation won't happen again.
Yep.
We got something different that we're going to be trading our Ford in on next week, and we'll show that whenever we do it. I feel like the thing that we told ourselves, I will work hard to make the money that it takes to do what we're doing, and we've ran into a lot of problems. I feel like we've done everything that we can to rectify all the problems that we've had.
Yep.
The car seems to be doing well. The first problem that we had was blowing motors.
Yep, fixed it.
We seem to fix that. You know, we're doing well with the motors.
Yes.
Then the car wasn't working.
Yep.
Kind of seemed like we fixed that. We're on the right
fixed
track. Okay. The tuner part is still a problem.
I mean,
we're still working on that,
tuner's
guys.
not bad, man.
Could be better. And we bought this big, nice, badass Pete to get us to the tracks, and now look what's happened.
You know, you had a little semi. It was kind of a, let's call it a medium duty truck, and it treated us right. It got us to every race last year.
It made this trip last year.
It got us to every race last year, but we knew we were going to do this for a while. So you got an actual over-the-road truck. Unfortunately, it's been a problem.
Just this time,
you
know, and it sucks. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not even that upset because I love the truck so much.
Yeah.
And I understand that parts failures happen. I am just going to do what I got to do to where we're not in this situation again.
Yep.
And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make, is that it sucks, and I will work my fucking ass off to make the money to rectify the problems that we have. And this here is a problem. So we're already on top of making sure that this problem doesn't happen again. I literally need this Pete to last the rest of this season, and then I'll in-frame it over the winter.
Yep.
It sucks to not, I mean, this mechanic even told me, he was like, man, really sucks not to in-frame it while we're this far. I said, I get it, man.
Yeah.
How long is that gonna take? And he was like, an extra 2 days. And his extra 2 days has gotta be 4.
Yeah.
You know? And then you're talking about missing next week's race too. So I just can't take a chance on that. I have to take a chance on spending this money and hoping that it makes it the rest of this season, and then go back and pay a little bit more than what I would have to do to get us back to where we're at right now to do the end frame.
Yeah.
Because right now it's so much easier just to do the end frame. Everything is right now. Literally, all you gotta do is pull the oil pan off.
Pull the oil pan, knock the slugs out the bottom.
So it doesn't look like the sleeves are moving. Everything looks fine on that. So, oh, the truck's trying to regen.
Oh.
So, you know, that's kind of where we're at with it.
Yep. So, yeah, like you said, that's where we're at. I'm gonna get hooked up to the merge trailer and I guess roll, and we'll see you there. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting you there. It's back. Big Pete's back. It's getting you to and from, or at least to. Right?
Wow.
I mean, sorta.
I don't know. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much shit that's wrong, man. Like, I'm gonna put a number on it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like the number?
I'll put the number on it.
Oh man.
So, and look, we don't need all the comments saying you should have done this or we should have done that. We were on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. Like I said before, I felt fortunate to at least find somebody who was a mechanic.
They answered the phone on a Sunday, late Sunday.
Yes. The truck made it. We went 17 hours in this truck. It made it. Everything is fine, except there's a lot of little things that need attention.
Yeah.
There's exhaust leaks everywhere. Mainly exhaust leaks.
That's
mainly exhaust leaks.
Yeah.
But there's oil leaks. There's, like, this thing didn't drip oil before. It didn't do anything. You know, all the bolts were at least matching. The nuts were matching. So we were about to pull the header. I call it the header.
Yeah, it's a header.
The exhaust manifold off the truck, and, you know, silicone it up or put new gaskets on it, whatever. And then we start looking, and sure enough, there's soot marks all over the block where at least 3 of them are leaking.
That's half.
That's half. Half of them are leaking. So there's no sense in doing that, because that particular part, the gasket's gone. The gasket is blowed out. Not much unlike our motor from this weekend.
Yes, we are hard on gaskets and seals.
So there's no sense in pulling that off. Doc came over. Doc looked at it. Doc does this for a living. He said that chances of getting that manifold off without taking off the thermostat housing is probably slim and none.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drain the antifreeze out of this thing here at the track.
I bet it's a real pain to get burnt.
Yeah. And I'm not a diesel mechanic. Do I feel like I could have done what he did? Probably.
Yeah.
You know, would it have made it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it will now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it made it here.
Yeah.
We're not home yet. So look, I do have a plan. The guy that I got this truck from, this motor was fresh whenever I got this truck.
Yeah.
It had 5,000 miles on it. I firmly believe that it was not how it was built that was a problem, because we put, what, 15,000 miles on it probably? What did we do this season?
In this truck, it only came home once. It's probably got between 15 and 20. Between 15 and 20.
Okay. 15 to 20,000 miles we put on this truck, and then in my opinion, the injector harness shorted out. We had an injector problem. It blew a head gasket, and that's where we're at with it.
Yes.
So, I'm going to probably take it back to the people who built it the first time and let them check everything out. Because now there's oil leaks, there's exhaust leaks, there's, the turbo sounds like it's going to blow up, it's screaming, it's squealing, it's, and when you have exhaust leaks on these big rigs, they sound crazy. They sound crazy.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I think it's just annoying is all. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So we literally have the rest of this trip, and that is just basically the next track is on the way home.
Yep.
So we're 7 or 8 hours to the next track, which is still Alabama. Then we're gonna go home, and then we'll be home for 3 days while we get the SEMA car,
the fire donk
ready for SEMA. We got 3 days to get that ready. And then Ennis and back. Another 7-hour round trip.
Yep.
And we're done with this truck for the year.
Yep.
So after that, we will clean out this trailer, take this trailer to Renegade to get the stuff done with them over the winter, and then take the truck to have it redone.
You're skipping over about 8 days of your life that I really want you to tell about.
8 days. Oh, of sitting on the side of the road waiting on this truck to get done.
You know, this truck broke down leaving Tucson on our way to Bandimere. Many of you guys seen me at Bandimere, but not Shawn. I kept telling you he was fixing to get on his way. They're almost done. He's going to get on the road. He'll be here tomorrow, and he never made it. And even after Bandimere,
I still didn't make it with the truck.
Yes.
So I sat there for 8 days, and what made it bad was about after the first 3, maybe 4, we thought every day, today's the day we get to leave.
Yeah.
And it just never got done. The stuff that whenever I pull a car apart, I try to be organized. And I'm sure I'm not even near as organized as some people.
Okay.
But in my head, I'm organized. I get my little table out, especially if I'm gonna pull a motor apart. I get my little table out. I usually put down some paper towels,
because
that's where
blue paper towels.
That's where I put all my stuff. I set my tools on it. I got my tools lined up that I'm gonna need for this job. And then as I pull stuff off, like as I pull my push rods, as I pull the lifters, as I pull the rockers off, I line them up. And do they always have to go back on the same? No, but they do.
Yeah.
I number them. I number them because it's already adjusted for what it was. Yeah. So you're not going to be totally off.
Much more efficient.
Yes.
Do it your way.
Yes. There's lots of reasons that I do that. I put all of my head studs and the bolts in one spot. I try to stay organized because, could I do I know where everything goes? Yeah, I know where everything goes. But how much easier is it to have a pile and this is my intake bolts. This is my exhaust bolts. Will the exhaust bolts fit in the intake? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they will. But I don't want them to.
Yeah.
Because the intake bolts don't have orange silicone all over them.
That's always a big giveaway too.
Yes. And they have the thick, nice, big washers on them.
Yep.
Same bolt.
Yeah.
But it's different. And I want it all to go back the same. That is just not the way that this truck is. As we're watching them pull this thing apart, it's like they pull a bolt out and they threw it behind them.
Yeah, they did. They just...
Yeah, just shit going everywhere. They're pulling stuff off the truck, and I'm going, man, these guys are good.
Yeah, they know where all this shit goes.
They know where every bolt on this thing goes until it was time to put it back together, and then they had no fucking idea. Yeah. They're walking around their shop. They've got 10 different drawers of frustration that they're digging through trying to find bolts. There was 2 or 3 missing header bolts, and then I had to walk around and look for bolts. At the end of that 8 days, I'm trying to help them, and
just so you can get out of there.
Just so I can get out of there, and because nothing was getting done. And for the record, the guy that was doing it, I felt like he knows what he's doing, but I also felt like he was one person, and he had way too much to do for one person to do. I felt like he ran all the 24-hour roadside service. So if it wasn't him going, it was his guys that, no offense, but didn't really know nothing. Yeah. So as soon as they got to the truck, they was on the phone with him the whole time. Yep. So while this guy's working, he literally
all the time
set his phone on his shoulder like this while he's working, and he was talking to him. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. It might work for somebody. It wouldn't work for me. I'd have no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
He got it done. The truck made it here. Charged me $32,000.
God dang.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so now. And right now, I get it, people. There's people out there going, "Oh my God, you could have in-framed it and saved $8,000."
Yeah.
I could have. I know.
Yep. If we were in a big metropolitan area that did this stuff every day, absolutely.
But instead, I'm on the side of the road. This ain't something that you put on a trailer and take somewhere else.
No.
Like, and at that point, everything's already tore apart in the shop. Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to walk around and find the parts that they threw off this motherfucker and load them all up and then have somebody come and with a big wrecker? I don't know. I did what I thought I had to do to get this thing going. And like I said, every day I thought was the day. So luckily, after Bandimere, Dave sent one of his drivers with his rig to come and get me. I wasn't going to leave my stuff on the side of the road, guys. And the shop that this place was at was on the side of the road. I get rained a couple of times and we got wet.
It used to be an enclosed building.
Yes, while we was in the shop, we got wet. I wasn't going to leave the truck plus the trailer with my car and all my tools, a spare motor, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know that spare motor that used to go right there? Now it's in between the front rails of the car.
That little guy got put in service.
It did. He got called in. And it's like, yep. So, you know, it is what it is. That sucks. It's a tax write-off for me.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have 2 tax write-offs for the same thing.
Yep. You can give it to some roadside mechanic, or you can give it to the government.
And it sucks.
Either way.
And I used to always go, it's a tax write-off. It is a tax write-off, but if you don't have the money, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know? So now, luckily, the people that built it the first time were like, look, man, they felt bad. It wasn't their fault, you know, but they felt bad. They're like, hey, man, we want to help you out. You know, I know they're not going to do it for free.
Well, no.
You know what I mean? But, and at this point, I don't care. I want it done right.
You just want to know.
I want to be able to get in this thing and trust it like I did before. Because now, I don't.
Yeah, every little noise. What was that?
Every little noise. And that makes a 17-hour trip as long as it could possibly be.
Yep.
Because the whole time you're nervous, you're scared you're going to break down. You're looking around going, man, I don't want to break down here.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
But.
So, you know, that's over and done with. It has made it, while you were broke down, you went to some measures to make sure that you weren't stuck again.
I did. And that's when I bought the Little Pete.
Little Pete.
This winter, we will have a hitch built for the back that Little Pete could, if need be, pull this trailer. Little Pete is going to, and let me tell you guys, while I'm sitting on the side of the road and I'm thinking about how I can never be in this situation again, and it's a lot like whenever we got the spare motor and we had Proline go through the engine, make sure everything was good to go. It's the same thing as me blowing up motors. What was it, last season? Last season was the one. Last season was the one. So we blew up a lot of motors last season. And so on the off season, we spent the time, money, and resources to make sure that didn't happen again. And this season, we've got 2 races left. We've blown up 1 engine. Hey, and I feel like that's a fluke deal. We could have not blown that engine up. Yep. We had a blown head gasket, and we made another pass. Yep. And then after that, it turned it into a torch. So we're gonna chalk that up to more on.
Yeah, more on.
Okay, so that one. I only had 24 passes on it, rods and everything. The only good thing that you can come out of this is we don't have to replace the crank, allegedly.
Hopefully.
Yeah, not yet.
In our mind, we don't.
Yeah. So that's what we did. Anybody who has looked into the Ford trucks that we run, or Duramax, Dodges, we would never look into a Dodge.
Nobody drive a Dodge.
But they're expensive. They're all expensive. And we're putting 30, 40,000 miles a year on these trucks. And especially on those trucks, we're putting more. We're doing no prep kings plus the street stuff. So we're putting 50, maybe 60,000 miles a year on these trucks. Yep. So at least every 2 years, you need a new truck. And in my opinion, we want to keep these under 100,000 miles. That way, if anything happens to them on the side of the road, we don't have to replace it. It'll be under warranty.
Yes.
So, I saw this little Pete. It's a big, what do they call them? What size?
It's a mid-size truck.
Mid-size.
Medium duty.
Medium duty.
The dualies are light duty trucks. The big Pete is heavy duty. Little Pete is medium duty.
Yes. So it's smaller than the Peterbilt, but it's bigger than the Ford trucks.
Yes.
It's got an 8.3 Cummins in it. Thing runs good. It's got an Allison 6-speed. It's a 4-door, and it's a Peterbilt. What is it? 833?
It's a 335.
335.
Yep.
I call it the 833 because those are the Cummins motors.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 335 4-door hauler.
Yeah.
Is what I call it.
Yep.
I just call it a hauler. It looks like something that a lot of the
horse trailer.
A lot of the horse trailer people pull with.
Yep.
Boosted has one. I talked to Boosted before and asked him what he thought about it, how he liked it. He said he loves it. So I got that. Is it ideal for pulling this big ass stacker trailer? No.
But it'll do it.
No, but it'll do it. And on flat surfaces, it'll probably do it all day long.
Yep.
It probably won't be too happy going up and down mountains, but hopefully we don't have to run into this. This is if we'd have had this little Pete, I'd have made it to the Bandimere. We could have hauled the trailer there, went back and got the merch trailer.
Yep.
Because I wasn't going to leave all of this there, and this was the majority of the reason that I stayed along with the truck. So only thing we really need is the hitch on the back of this thing. It wouldn't pull it across the parking lot.
Well, it didn't even pull the merch trailer.
Yeah, no, it already broke pulling the merch trailer. So over the winter, we'll have a big badass hitch, same thing that's on the back of our toters, welded to the frame, and then out the back of the hauler bed.
Yeah.
And then this thing, with that being said, it's only got 48,000 miles on it. It's probably got 50 on it now.
Got 52 now.
52 already?
Dude, I went to Pennsylvania to get some shit done, and then I mean, I've driven that thing a few times. Super cool truck, runs amazing. The AC needs some work. Is really honestly my only complaint. It's not even a complaint yet because it's not.
Well, it's because it's not hot.
You know me, I like AC.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah. But I'm getting the windows tinted on it tomorrow when they're fixing the trailer axle.
That'll help. And it's already got the air out the back, you know, because it had a big fifth wheel on it. It would have been set up to pull my old trailer already.
It pulled the gooseneck amazing. Whenever I dropped the car off to RK, I was impressed with how it pulled that thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be fine. It's got 52,000 miles on it now, so he should be able to use this until we're done doing what we're doing right now.
Yep.
I will literally, yes, it was more than the dually. They traded it in. They took the dually in on trade. But now, honestly, at the rate we're going and the mileage that we're putting on these things, this thing should last us 10 years.
Well, what's cool about it too is that 8.3 Cummins, it's not a throw-in motor. If something were to happen to it, or when it does need rebuilt, they could in-frame it just like the big truck.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And it runs fucking good. So.
I mean, we took a little 4-hour road trip in it yesterday.
Yep. So hopefully everything goes good with it, and at this point, that's the truck. If something goes wrong with it, we fix it.
Yep.
That's it. Don't have to put all the miles on my dualies, or dually, now that I only got one. And I don't have to trade them in every year. I mean, trading these things in and keeping them, it's not just the price tag of what it pays. Like, it's like $4 or $5 grand to tag these things whenever you get a new truck.
Because they're so
expensive. So tagging them, even tagging them is expensive. Now I don't have to worry about this anymore. No. It's tagged, and it should last until we're done with this. And if it doesn't, we're going to put the money into it to fix it.
Yep.
It won't be the money that it costs for a new Ford.
No.
So, hopefully, this winter we get the Pete where it needs to be again, and then we don't have these problems. We're going to have another problem somewhere else.
Something.
But not a problem that we can't fix on the side of the road.
Yes.
No matter what we do, guys, no matter how nice our shit is, you're always going to be working on it. You could buy a brand new trailer, brand new truck, something's gonna happen.
Well, there's guys here in the parking lot that have brand new trailers and brand new trucks, and I passed one of them along the way that was missing an axle on their big stacker trailer, or missing a wheel on their big stacker trailer too.
Yep.
So, you know, it just happens. Like, the roads across America are shit.
Terrible.
I mean, when you're having to get from track to track in 4 days, like you're having to make some things happen, and you know, when you're doing that, things are going to happen that's not good on this equipment.
Yep. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy with it. Have you done a walk around of it or anything?
I have not. I'm gonna go take a look at her. So a lot of you guys have probably seen it on our social media by now. We'll give you a little walk around here on YouTube. There's our merch trailer that's all messed up. I got to pull the axle out in O'Reilly's parking lot and then finish the trip.
Man, ain't many people left here, huh?
Besides Chuck's badass rig, Truck 55.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, ladies and gentlemen, meet Lil Pete. 2006 Peterbilt 335. It's a custom, I think it's custom, right? Like, somebody made this a crew cab.
They had to have.
I think.
They had to have. I don't know.
But we popped the hood here.
I mean, but it's a nice rig.
Very nice.
Phew.
That's a little Cummins there. Had to get the exhaust manifold gaskets replaced on it as well, because blew one of them out on my way home.
They said that these 8.3 Cummins, that's it.
Yeah. No,
like if you could guess what was wrong with this deal, it's an 8.3 Cummins, they would tell you.
Yep.
Header
What was it doing? Squealing? Yeah, header gasket.
Yep. So, I mean, but it's super nice. You can tell with everything that this thing really, I mean, look.
Yeah,
it's got 50,000 miles on it.
Yep.
Inside is super cool.
Oh, it's locked over here.
Oh yeah. Because it's just like my big Peterbilt.
Yes.
Everything inside it is like my big Peterbilt. So.
Yeah,
they're kind of like a Harley or a Razor.
Oh yeah.
You can accessorize these things to death.
Oh yeah. And that is what I've been doing. Got the red jewel switches. Definitely gonna replace the steering wheel like today, I believe.
Yes.
But I mean, it's just a nice truck, nice and clean.
But like he said, AC. I will not be able to ride with this thing in the summertime when it's that hot. Certain little things that we want to do, like we're not going to need this fifth wheel.
Nope.
So at some point over the winter, we'll get all this off of it. Gooseneck's all we need. I don't know why somebody would just, this type of stuff really bothers me, people. Why would you just cut a hole in this?
That's literally all they did.
That's all they did.
They took a torch and went.
Yes, whenever you could.
All right, little GoPro malfunction there, but stuff like this really aggravates Shawn. Someone took a blowtorch and made their own little tie down loops here instead of just bolting some D-rings in it.
Yeah, all you gotta do is bolt some D-rings down. So get you some chrome D-rings, make them look good. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then, so this is where the hitch will go. We'll make it look just like we did. Well, we won't.
Yeah,
but somebody who can weld and get, you know, the penetration on the thick stuff. Because the frame is literally right here. Somewhere.
Yes.
Somewhere in here.
Yes.
And should be able to do that, do away with this, and then have the hitch with all the bolts in it to where you can raise it up and lower it.
Yes.
And we should be good to go. But anyways, it's cool. It's functional. It is going to, in the long run, save us money.
Yes. What'd you see? Oh, so yeah, Big Pete and Little Pete, just in case. So that's now you guys know a little more about what happened to Shawn, why he didn't make Bandimere. It sucked. He really wanted to be there. However, you can't just leave this stuff sit on the side of the road in the middle of the desert and be okay with it. So made arrangements for it to never happen again. So here we are. I don't know, I guess we'll go ahead and end this video and get ready to head to Steele, Alabama and see if we can do any good there. So as always, guys,
Well, that's not what you're gonna do, though.
no, I am gonna go get this fixed, and then I will head to Steel. So
See ya.
as always, thank you guys for watching the videos. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. If you haven't already, you know, share it with your buddy, share it with everybody. Let's help grow the channel. Click the like button, comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.